What is up, YouTube family? Thank you guys for tuning back into Wilbur Shenanigans. My name is Chad, and this is
D.
Come on now.
I said
if I would have said it, you say, you don't let me say it. Okay. But yeah, we going into 10 guilty. That means he's already caught they guilty. Teenage convicts reacting to their life sentences. Oh, I already know where this is going. Don't cry now. Oh no. We ain't gonna cry now. You when you did the crime, you wasn't crying.
You don't know.
Don't get me started.
I agree with the family. I hope you die in prison as well.
Oh my God. What did he do? Look at all that. What is that?
We shouldn't laugh at people's pain.
I wish I could. I would give
He
my
killed
life
somebody.
to Austin.
Oh.
I loved him a lot. I didn't mean to kill Austin. Ashley, I really didn't.
You didn't mean to, but you did?
I didn't mean to hurt him.
When you're a teenager, your life has barely begun. You're still learning how to live your life. Well, imagine having the rest of your life
torn
away
out
from you and spending the rest of your life in a prison cell. Imagine your reaction to the moment that judge takes away your life in the bang of a gavel. Well, we're going to see what that is exactly like right now as we dive into 10 teens reacting to life sentences. This first convict, known as Nicholas Lindsay, was actually too young to receive a life sentence when he was first handed into the police, but upon his resentencing, he was met with life behind bars. When the judge reads out his sentence, Nicholas just sits there, grinning, showing zero lack of remorse for his crimes.
Why I don't care about
his mother walks out and just says, "It is what it is."
There is no indication that this type of violent behavior will stop.
Criminal history and odds of rehabilitation must be considered before life without parole is imposed.
The court has significant doubts about the defendant's potential for rehabilitation.
His mom said little when it was over.
It's what the judge ordered, so that's what it is. It is what it is.
But Lindsay actually grinned when the judge read his ruling, the lack of remorse not lost on David Crawford's daughter, Amanda.
Justice was served, and
did you see him smirk?
I'm glad it's over, and it just kind of proves to me that he's an animal as he sat there smiling.
This next teen receives his sentence for starting a fire that killed an innocent teenager, a stupid mistake which cost an innocent life and ruined another. You can tell by the way this teen is reacting that he completely regrets his stupid decision and even starts praying as he cries. His mistake is one to learn from.
Shows that there is something said significant and intentional in immediately starting another fire in the living room.
You should have been praying when you was like.
I agree with the family. I hope you die in prison as well.
You ever had a cry like that? You ever cry like that? Like when you first initially start, nothing come out. It's just straight up air, and you try. You ain't never had one of them ghetto whoopings, and that's what it is. See, I didn't got a ghetto whooping like that. I know what you're talking about, where you try to gasp for it, and they like your mom just sit there or whoever whooped you, or that go ahead, make a noise. Like you just beat me. Like you gotta hold it in. Like, you finally get your breath.
I've been around to see people have.
He just had that moment, like that moment. He just had that moment right now. That
you just had the moment too. Wilbur, cut it out.
Hey, I'm gonna give you something else to cry for.
Is someone we've covered before, but this story is so intense that I thought I'd share it again. Dylan is being sentenced here for the murder of a sweet innocent baby. He killed his girlfriend's child.
Wait, he could have what? A baby?
If you shut up, we could listen.
He could have baby. I'm a reactor, not us to be quieter. Like we don't sit on here and be like, oh.
Because I'm trying to listen. Go back.
Like I'm not
go back like a second. Right there.
What do you think we do?
I know, but I'm trying to listen.
Dylan Shoemaker is someone we've covered before, but this story is so intense that I thought I'd share it again. Dylan is being sentenced here for the murder of a sweet innocent baby. He killed his girlfriend's child, and when the court day comes, he tries to plead that he didn't mean to kill the child, despite the fact that the baby was beaten to death. His plot to win over the jury didn't work, and he is serving his life sentence.
10 years to life.
10 years? That's it?
I wish I could. I would give my life for Austin.
That's it. So this 10 years and he's out?
A lot.
He can get out. He's available for parole.
That's a given. But there were other dynamics at work there.
Austin, Ashley, I really didn't. I really think I did that. I didn't mean to hurt him.
He was actually caught by the judge for actually trying to text his mother saying that he hopes the jury will feel sorry for him and that he's going to cry on purpose to try and lower his sentence.
That on July 23rd, 2013, in a phone
And you
call
only get
to
10
your mother
years?
from
Really?
the holding center, you stated,
He texts his mama
we
there?
got a quote from the court reporter, I am a 16-year-old blonde. Probably all I have to do is cry in front of the jury, and they're going to feel sorry for me.
Philip Chaim looks like an innocent high school
Oh, my
student,
God.
but he is anything but that. He is actually in court for murdering his teacher. The teacher was actually only 24 years old, which is extremely young for a teacher. She was just starting her life up when it was taken away from her in a blink of an eye. Philip was sentenced to life, and here's his reaction.
Philip Chisholm, on indictment number 2013-1446001. The jury, having returned a verdict of guilty, murder in the first degree on deliberate premeditation and extreme atrocity and cruelty, you will hearken to the sentence the court has awarded against you. The court, having duly considered your offenses, it is hereby ordered that you be committed to the Department of Youth Services until the age of 21, and furthermore committed to the Massachusetts Correctional Institution at Cedar Junction for the period of not less than 25 years and not more than life, and that you stand committed in execution of this sentence.
Jodi Arias is the
But the
first
baby
female on
only
this
got 10
list.
years?
She was being sentenced for the murder of her ex-boyfriend. Her boyfriend was actually famous for saying these disturbing words to his friend. Don't be surprised if one of these Sundays I don't show up and you find me dead in some place. Well, that's exactly what happened before she was sentenced to life in prison. She actually killed her ex-boyfriend just like he said she would.
But I had to fight for my life just like I did on June 4th, 2008, because I realized how selfish it would be for me to escape accountability for this mess that I've created. I have 2 brothers, 2 sisters, several nieces and nephews, a mom, a dad, 8 aunts, 9 uncles, over 20 cousins that I've grown up with, as well as countless friends, all of whom would suffer greatly if I took my own life or if I allocuted and begged for the death penalty and then got it. The most important thing I want to say is that I am very sorry for the enormous pain that I've caused the people that love Travis. I'm horrified because of what I did, and I wish there was some way I could take it back.
Court finds the defendant has no prior criminal history. The defendant has family and community support. The defendant has mental health issues. The court has also considered the defendant's childhood background. The court finds the mitigation presented is not sufficiently substantial to call for leniency and that a natural life sentence is appropriate. It is ordered the defendant shall be incarcerated in the Department of Corrections for the rest of her natural life with no possibility of parole.
This teenager freaks out after he is sentenced. The defendant freaks out, cries in court and begs the officers not to take him away, showing that he at least has some sympathy for what he did.
"18-year-old Fernando Salgado begs to get to go home."
This next teen was sentenced to life in prison after he and his girlfriend robbed and killed an elderly lady.
I remember this
The
case.
robbery apparently went wrong, and while trying to escape, the teen shot and killed the woman who was completely defenseless. The teen just sits and smiles as his life is being taken away from him. He's also seen actually falling asleep at one point during the sentencing.
With a chuckle, a laugh, and yawn after yawn, David Moses acted strangely at his sentencing this morning, appearing to fall asleep in his chair not once, but twice, suffered physical, verbal, and emotional abuse growing up, leading to a lengthy criminal history, including sexually assaulting his sister, then a developmentally disabled cousin, and 7 other children while he was in a group home. While Sessions' family said they hope to one day see her again in heaven, Moses' attorney asked the judge for hope as well, in the form of a possibility for parole.
To give him that hope.
He shouldn't be out.
For the next 25 years, that he may have an opportunity to be returned to society.
Instead, the judge sentenced Moses to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
And that's in the penitentiary for the rest of his life.
How he look?
TJ Lane was convicted for killing 3 of his fellow high school students, which makes him a very young serial killer. He has absolutely no remorse for his crimes, and he was of course sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. And when he was being sentenced, he wore a white t-shirt with the word killer painted across it, showing how sick and twisted this teenager really is.
Nick is a very kind and loving. Why would you want to hurt him? You don't know kind. You're evil. I will have to eventually forgive you. Otherwise, you will haunt me. You will never, ever be in my thoughts after this. Never. My family will move on, not you. You have ruined your life, not to mention Adam's. Even gave you a ride. Nick even gave you a ride from school. That someone tried to kill 5 people, and all they did was want to go to school.
TJ also escaped prison a year after his sentencing with another inmate who was actually captured.
He escaped prison.
19-year-old TJ Lane escaped from the Allen County Correctional Center in Lima, Ohio, and a massive search is underway for Lane and 45-year-old Clifford Opperud. Lane was serving 3 life sentences for the February 2012 murders of 3 students in Chardon High School, east of Cleveland. Witnesses said he just walked into the crowded cafeteria that morning and started shooting.
He was just dead silent the entire time. Didn't say anything before.
This next teen actually killed his great-grandmother with a hatchet with one of his friends, which is extremely disturbing. The teen was of course sentenced to life in prison and responds by saying that the news liked to twist a lot of things around. He was still sentenced and found guilty.
He showed varying emotions in court, at times wiping tears from his face. Then Barbeau smirked and shook his head when the prosecutor spoke. He read only a few words from his own statement.
There's a lot going around said by the news, DA, and many other people that I'm a cold, heartless, careless killer. And that's not true.
Instead of starting his freshman year in high school, 14-year-old Antonio Barbeau will go to prison.
This next video is very famous for showing a teenager who almost starts laughing when he is sentenced for killing a 23-year-old. The mother of the victim is in tears and is so choked up she can't even speak to the jury, as his sister has to stand in for her. The only words the teen has to say for himself are these.
As a mother shed tears for her son, shot and killed by Wright.
I've lost laughter and love. I no longer have the hope of having grandchildren. I've lost the enjoyment of holidays and birthdays and of everyday life.
Wright addressed the court showing no remorse.
I just want to tell y'all, I'll be home soon. R.I.P. Keon. I love my family. That's all you got to say? Yes.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to subscribe and turn the notifications on to never miss another video from me. Anyway, goodbye.
Yeah, I know I was laughing at the beginning because of dude, but now it's like when we got further into this, like that's heartless. Like the victim, like the family got to stand there and look at these fools looking like straight up.
It's sad.
And that's that thing, like that dude. Oh yeah, I'm crying. Like bro, half of them was crying and they were smiling right after. Like it was just a mind game.
It is.
Get you to feel sorry.
Horrible.
I didn't mean to do it. If you didn't mean to do it, you just shouldn't do it. Like you can't wake up and be like, oh, I didn't mean to kill somebody. I accidentally stabbed you with this knife. You know, I accidentally shot you with this gun 4 times. Like, I don't know how people do it. I couldn't be no judge. I couldn't be in a jury. Ooh, I'm giving up too much information. I mean, I ain't been in jury duty. They gonna find me. I can't do it.
That was way too much. I was sad. Like
it was young. I wonder it was 14.
A lot of them were young. It's just like it's so crazy because I didn't know that they like were able to like talk to them.
Yeah, you can. They offer you like the. Families.
I don't think I would want to though, because I'd be wanting to kill people.
Like the dude was like, "I'll be home soon." Like what?
So when he said R.I.P., the boy named, so it was probably a retaliation type of vibe.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Because he killed the 23. He's like R.I.P. I love my family. So it was probably like a retaliation type of vibe thing.
I wouldn't doubt it. That's sad. You know, it's crazy because you look at their age and think like I thought about like yeah they got caught, but some of these guys become like serial. Like, what about the ones, like, what if they would have just grew, like, past 4, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just had murders underneath their belt. Mm-hmm. You just never know, like, creating a monster. But that one case with that one kid, like, where they said his background, like, abuse and all that crap, like, he came from a background of just violence. So he probably didn't know no better.
Yeah, but a lot of people do. And some, like, that sometimes that makes or breaks someone. So that's the sad part.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what if he just did a violence, he was just always around and he didn't know no better but violence? I mean, you don't know what he... But still, I'm not making excuses for him smirking and nothing after murdering somebody.
No remorse. And I feel like when you don't have remorse, I feel like they're like, okay, at this point that we don't care. There's no need to lighten your sentence or anything.
Well, we watch a lot of shows like this, like me and D, and what I learned, like from watching these shows, like a lot of these people that are like serial killers or killers, they say they can turn on a switch and play you like a fool. Like, like the guys who like do the interviews and stuff, they say like some of these serial killers can go in there and be like laughing with you, da da da, and they say completely you walk out of the room, come back in there, they're a different person. Like you was just crying, and they come back in there.
Or like if they just killed the person and they're acting like all innocent
and
stuff, like
normal person, like no
like
remorse.
You did not just kill somebody?
That's scary. Like
it's weird.
It is, but this was different, but crazy.
Sad.
Yeah, a lot. But thank you guys for tuning back in. Let us know what you thought about this video. If you ever experienced anybody like with this or seen somebody go to jail, like, you know, maybe you went to school with somebody like that, that's crazy. If you did, if you want to share it, that'd be crazy. If you did, like, crazy. Like, especially when that kid said, like, oh, before he was normal all day in school, he was like, it's quiet, like, he was normal, like, and then he ended up shooting people. But yeah, let us know. Drop down in the comment section below. Like, I can't never say all these S's together. Like, subscribe, share, and we'll see y'all in our next video.